Hello everyone and welcome to the next lecture of this Maths Live channel. My dear students of second year, today we will start solution of a partial differential equation. Up to last lecture, we have studied formation of a partial differential equation. So we get a differential equation. You know the method how to get that partial differential equation. There are two methods we have studied. The first one is eliminating arbitrary constant and second one is eliminating arbitrary functions. So depend on that, there are two type of solutions exist. We will see the definitions, actual definitions of that solution and the names of that solutions. But what is meant by solution first? Solution is the relation between dependent and independent variables, and that relation must satisfies the given partial differential equation. Clearly, solution is relation between dependent variable and independent variable. Now, you may get confused here. What is the meaning of dependent variable and independent variable? So here I will tell you that I have z. My z is function of x and y. Means my z is depend on x and y. So here if I write a relation between z, z is equal to say c1x plus c2y. Then this is the relation between dependent variable and independent variables. So such a type of solution, if it satisfies, if this relation satisfies given partial differential equation, then we can say that this z is a solution of that differential equation. Understood? So there are two type of solutions exist for a partial differential equation. That is, first one is complete solution. Now complete solution means a solution that obtained by removing arbitrary constants. The solution that contains arbitrary constants is called complete solution. Means a differential equation is obtained by eliminating arbitrary constants, right? And that differential equation has a solution, just like here z is equal to c1x square plus c2y square. So what is meant by complete solution? Complete solution means a solution which contains arbitrary constants is called complete solution, and a solution which contains arbitrary function is called general solution. As we did in our last session, that partial formation of a differential equation, we eliminate arbitrary constant as well as arbitrary functions. So that are the two type of solutions are there, complete solution and general solution. Clearly here I just wrote one example, z is equal to f of y upon x plus phi of xy, no problem. Okay, now we will see the definition of linear partial differential equation of first order. An equation of the form, see the equation carefully, an equation of the form capital P xyz dou z by dou x plus capital Q xyz dou z by dou y is equal to r of xyz. That means we can write capital P into small p, because we know that dou z by dou x is small p, plus capital Q into small q, dou z by dou y is my small q, is equal to r. This equation is called Lagrange's linear partial differential equation of first order, or you can say order 1. Okay, and this equation can be written as, for the solution we write this equation as dx upon this capital P plus dy upon capital Q is equal to dz upon capital R. You just see these two equations only, capital P into small p plus capital Q into Q is equal to R, and to solve this equation we write dx upon P is equal to dy upon Q is equal to dz upon R. For your understanding I am writing here. See, if I write the equation x into P plus z into Q is equal to y, then how I write this? I can write this dx upon x. This is my P, capital P is my x, capital Q is my z, and capital R is my y. So I get dx upon x is equal to dy upon z is equal to dz upon y. Clearly, and we have to solve this equation. This equation dx upon p is equal to dy upon q is equal to dz upon r is called symmetrical simultaneous differential equation. Now, there are two methods to solve these differential equations. The first one is method of grouping and second one is method of multipliers. Method of grouping and method of multipliers. Let me explain the first method now. Method of grouping. We know that our equation is like this: dx upon p is equal to dy upon q is equal to dz upon r. So this is our equation. Clearly. Now there are three groups possible. Which are the three groups you can take? Dx is equal to this one, dx upon p equal to dy upon q you may take. Dx upon p is equal to dy upon q you may take. Or which one you can take? Dy upon q is equal to dz upon r you can take. Or dx upon p is equal to dz upon r you can take. Right? So these are the three possibilities are there. These three possibilities are there. Now which group we can select? That is our method of grouping. And it gives us minimum two solutions. Now what is that method? In this method we group, see, three groups are possible. So how we group? See carefully. We group dx upon p is equal to dy upon q such that z is absent or it may be cancelled in the calculation. Let me clear this. Z is absent or it may cancel in the calculation. Which are the two variables you can see here? Dx upon p is equal to dy upon q. Means only x and y variables are there. So z is either cancelled or it may be absent. Clearly. Similarly, I can take y and z. Dy is equal to dz. So which variable is absent here? We must have x is absent or it may be cancelled in the calculation. Similar way, dx and dz you can take. In that case, yes, y may be absent or it may be cancelled in the calculation. Understood it? For your understanding, I am taking one example here. Dx upon x is equal to dy upon z is equal to dz upon y. This is the equation we have written. Clearly. Now you can see we can make any group. Dx upon x is equal to dy upon z. Is it possible? Is it possible here? Dx upon x equal to dy upon z? No, it is not possible because z is not cancelled or we can't omit z. Clearly. Now if I take these two, dy upon z is equal to dz upon y. Dy, I am writing dy upon z is equal to dz upon y. Yes, there is no x here, so this group is possible and we can solve it. Y multiply here, y dy is equal to z dz and we can integrate and we get the answer. Understood the method? So third variable is either absent or it may be cancelled in the calculation, right? And at least two solutions we want. So this group, first group gives me one solution. For the second solution, I have to use some trick because next grouping is not possible here. Clearly, some more examples we will see in our problem. Or I may, for your understanding, I may take one example. Dx upon, say if I write xz is equal to dy upon yz is equal to dz upon y square. So if I take this equation, see carefully here. Which group you can say it is possible? Yes, first two group you can equate because z get cancelled. Clearly, similarly these two group also possible because only y is there, y and z. Understood? So this gives us two solutions. Hope you have understood the method. Clearly, this is our method of grouping, which is much more easier. Next one is our method of multipliers. Method of multipliers. Now in this method, we find multipliers. You can say the name LMN. Value of LMN may be different. You can say LMN such that LDX plus MDY plus NDZ equal to 0. Means if I multiply by that multipliers to dx, dy, dz and I get total is 0. Then we use this method. When grouping method is not applicable, we use method of multipliers. And in sometimes we use both methods, right? Some of the multipliers I put in front of you. 1 1 1 we may use. Keep in your mind this one because it will help you to solve a problem. 1 1 1 we may use. Then LMN we may use. Then 2 3 4. Then 1 2 3 like that. X y z, 1 upon x, 1 upon y, 1 upon z, right? And we want at least two solutions which contains arbitrary constants or arbitrary functions. So when we get that two solutions, we can write that arbitrary function. How? We will see. I am writing few notes here for you to solve a problem. As I explained, sometimes we have to use both methods at a time. If first method is not applicable, then we use second method, but sometimes we use both methods. Then sometimes we use first solution to find second solution. I will show you this one in problem. Sometimes we use first solution to find second solution, and our final solution can be written as, this is important, our final solution can be written as phi of C1 C2 equal to 0. Means from the first solution find value of C1, from the second solution find value of C2 and take phi of C1 C2 equal to 0. This is our arbitrary function and we get our answer. Hope you have understood the concept. The problems we will see in our next session. Thank you. Thanks for watching.